Well, Darren, Bolton's a bit of an odd one, really, in that the situation they find themselves. They've got a really good quality squad now and a very experienced manager, but of course they're down the bottom of the table.
Yeah, circumstances are what they are for the club, and the main thing for them was to survive and not have another situation like Bury, and they've managed to do that. They've managed to get going in the league. They've had some very good results of late. You're absolutely correct. Keith and David going in there is a really good appointment, and they have got some really good experience. It was strange the way it happened. They came in and then all of a sudden they just brought loads of players in together, and it was always going to take time for that to gel. But certainly in the last few games, obviously you take the Accrington one out of it, they've had some good results. Yeah,
and they've got decent players, and also players that know this league inside out.
Yes, and had some promotions in there. And it's going to be a really tough game, one that we can't have any complacency going into just because of their league position. I've already expressed that to the players and explained to them that mentally we have to be right, and I'm sure we will be, because you look at their starting team and they've got strength, I feel, all over it, and we're going to have to play well to win the game.
What do you think it's like for a player going in there, if you say a Daryl Murphy or whatever, and you sign up? It's presumably quite a good challenge in that it's an enormous challenge, but you can really give it a good go.
I agree. I think it is a really good challenge for them. I think they've got nothing to lose in many ways, and in the sense that no one really would expect them to survive this, but I think they can. I really do. I think they've got good experience as a management team. And they've got a good experienced players that will probably see this. As Murphy's 36, they've got Luke Murphy, Bridcott, Lowe in the middle of the park. They've got some good experience in there. O'Grady, some good players. So we don't expect anything else but a tough match.
Yeah, it has the makings of a really good game when you take into account your home form. It's a great test.
Yeah, our home form's strong, and we've got to try and maintain that. We have to start picking up more points away from home. We got a good result on last week. We won our last home league game, and our home form's been very, very strong. We have to maintain that if we can all the way through the season. But I don't look at league positions. I look at what we're playing against, and like I said earlier, it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, and it must give you a huge amount of confidence, because we're in December now, which inevitably means you've faced a wide variety of different challenges at home, and you've dealt with them all.
Yes, we have. Apart from the first weekend, we've dealt with it fine, and I think it's really important we have that strong form at home and really pick up a lot of wins, which we have done. We've had some good clean sheets as well, so that's important. And in every game I go into, I always focus on what we can do. I thought the performance last week was a strong one. It wasn't a surprising one to me. I went into that game feeling very confident if we did certain things correct. The downside to last week was the 2 soft goals we lost, and apart from that, 1 or 2 half chances they had, we didn't give away much. So I was pleased in general with last week's performance.
Yeah, and you'd spoken about the bitty November. With that in mind, to have both the performance and the result against a really good Portsmouth side, it was a good time to have that game.
Yeah, I think it was, and a team that were going very, very well, and I think they were going for 7 wins on the bounce. Their home form, Portsmouth's home form themselves, was very good going into the game. And the previous league game to that, we beat Burton at home, which is a good result because they then went and beat Sunderland. So we've picked up four decent points. Like you say, it's been very bitty in terms of all the cup matches in between, but now we can really concentrate on the league programme, and if we can keep this home form going, I think it's going to be really important in the Christmas period, because we have to say we've got 3 real tough away games in Bristol, Rotherham and Lincoln.
When it comes to the team news, are you going to be able to welcome anyone back?
Well, we're looking at the situation tomorrow morning. We'll have another look at it. Marcus is back in. Boydie has got a chance, so there's 2 straight away. Joe Ward will definitely be fit, so there's 3 that have got a possibility. Joe Ward's a definite, yes, and the other 2 we'll wait and see.
Have you had anyone go the other way? Are you likely to lose anyone?
The only one's young Sam Cartwright, who picked up a knock in the game on the other day, so he's going to be a doubt for Saturday.
Yeah, it poses a really nice dilemma when it comes to picking the side, and it's the sort of dilemma I suppose a manager always wants, where you've had the success playing with the Diamond at home, and then you had the success last weekend changing things around a little bit and playing with the back 3, so it's a bit of food for thought.
Yeah, but I mean, the players know the formations. It's not as if we've all of a sudden just said, right, we're going to try this. They've known it from day one. They know different ways we want to play. And I don't think the focus should be on that, because generally the principles and whatever formation we play are pretty much the same. There's a tweak here and there. There's certain areas you're going to have more players than others, but we've been strong at home, and I'll pick whatever team I think's right for the personnel that I'm going to play, and that's what I'll always do, whether it be the diamond, whether it be three at the back. Whatever one I pick, the players know it very, very well.
Yeah, and quite rightly, there's been talk about Idris Kanu and Dan Butler with his assist from last weekend. Alex Woodyard, past couple of games, really seems to have come to the boil as well. Yeah,
Woody's done well with the two in there. It suits him, and he's played very, very well. He's found it difficult to get in the team and stays a regular with the shape we've played and the personnel we've got. But now there's been injuries, and he's, as I've said, he's been the same as every other member of the squad. If needed, he needs to be called upon and he has to do a job, and certainly the last couple of games he's definitely done that.
Yeah, in terms of that dynamic, I suppose Louis Reed can sit there and it allows Woodyard to, he loves to get across the pitch, doesn't he, and intercept things and use his engine.
Yeah, and then if play a diamond, he plays on the right of it and he does that very well as well. He gets out to full-backs. So yeah, whatever way it's done, it means he's a little bit further forward at times, so he can get against people. So no, I've been very happy with him actually in the last couple of games.
With Siriki Dembele, was that a bit of a freak that injury has turned out as bad as it has done? Was it just the way he fell on his hand?
He's fallen when he's had a bad tackle against Ipswich and the lad stood on his hand and it's went back. The problem we've got with it is because, depending on where the break is, the break's right at the front. If it had been because I think probably the best example is Vardy, played with a cast a week or so after it, but the break was in a completely different place. With this, it's a lot more dangerous that even with a cast, there's too much risk to him doing it again. At the moment, we don't need to operate, which is important. And if the cast works and there's no sort of physical impact on it for the next 3 weeks anyway, then the healing will be fine. If we were to play him with a cast and he did it again, the cast can't protect it possibly be an operation, so that's why it's going to be so long, unfortunately.
Yeah, so his job in the meantime, I suppose, is do everything possible to keep his match fitness up as best he can.
Yeah, there's still loads he can do, and he'll do a lot of CV work with the fitness coaches, and we'll make sure that we keep topping him up in that. But there's nothing like training and playing, and it's a bit of a blow, especially given all the other injuries. It just sort of sums his season up in terms of being a bit stop-start and a bit frustrating for the boy. But no, he'll be back this turn of the year.